Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, I'm going to give you the five biggest winners and losers on the Las Vegas Raiders roster after the 2022 NFL Draft. The reason why I like to do this video is because when you look at the draft picks that the team made, it does impact the current players on the offense, and it impacts the current players on the defensive side of the football. So which current players are impacted the most by these draft picks? You went ahead, you took Dylan Parham, offensive guard out of Memphis at number 90. Zamir White, you traded up for him at 122. Farrell Jr. at 126. Matthew Butler, Thayer, Munford, and then Brittain Brown. Those are your picks in the 2022 NFL Draft. Now, we are going to start with the winners because I'm a person that likes to give good news first, and then I'll hit you with the losers as well. I know, I hate doing it, but it's just the truth. So coming in here at number 5, I'm going to say Divine Deablo, and the reason why I'm going to go this route is because this organization showed me just because the last year's regime committed to you doesn't mean that McDaniels and Ziegler have to commit to you. And the fact that no linebackers were taken, that tells me that they believe in Divine Deablo. And I personally see Divine and Denzel getting a lot of snaps. I also see Jayon Brown, who is going to be getting plenty of his snaps as well. But it's going to be a very interesting thing to see how much playing time Divine Deablo gets, because if they like versatility, that's exactly what he is. He was a strong safety at Virginia Tech. He made a change to linebacker, and the more and more he played, the better and better he got. At number 4, I'm going to go with Bryan Edwards, and there was a lot of rumors out there that the Raiders could go ahead and they could potentially take a receiver. If they would have taken a receiver, it would have meant bad things for Bryan Edwards. So what does this mean? You know Devontae is going to get his work. You know DeMarcus Robinson might be able to come in here and compete with Bryan a little bit. But the fact that it's just going to be Bryan and DeMarcus competing for that, we'll say, wide receiver 4 spot, essentially, because, I mean, let's be real, Hunter Renfrow is your slot. Darren Waller is going to be your other guy getting targets. So your 4th target does come down to Edwards and DeMarcus Robinson. I do think that Bryan Edwards was a winner. I'll also say that I thought DeMarcus Robinson was a winner as well. Now, here's a cool little fun fact. This video was actually put out on Rumble on Tuesday. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, as you can see, you're not watching it on Tuesday. So go ahead, follow the Raiders Report on Rumble. That way you can get even more exclusive videos. And sometimes, like we're doing right now for Rumble's After Hours on Tuesday, this video is going out earlier. So how do you go ahead and give us a follow? You can either go to the link that you see below, rumble.com/Raiders Report, or you can go ahead and scan this QR code here. I am trying to get more followers over here to get you guys more content. So please, it helps me out a lot. Become a follower on Rumble, rumble.com/Raiders Report. My number 3 post-draft winner is Duron Harmon. And when I saw the amount of safeties, when I saw the amount of nickelbacks that came in for the Raiders this offseason in terms of pre-draft visits, I was like, oh man, Duron Harmon. And then the Honey Badger, he ends up going to the New Orleans Saints. I believe that Duron Harmon is going to get more snaps than Jonathan Abram at safety because of the way that the Patrick Graham system works, but no safeties were taken. So for that reason, Harmon's a winner. Some people are like, well, wouldn't that make Jonathan Abram a winner? I'm not going to go that far because I see Harmon getting more snaps, getting more playing time over Jonathan Abram. Coming in here at number 2, and this is for a few different reasons. One, Nate Hobbs settled his case. That makes him a winner. Unfortunate for the Raiders, Trayvon Mullen right now just had surgery. However, Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels have thrown out the idea of Nate Hobbs playing outside corner. If Nate Hobbs wants to make more money down the road, if you can be a solid outside corner, you're just simply going to make more money than being an inside guy. And I don't know if Hobbs can do it, but again, they brought in all these pre-draft visits. They don't draft any cornerbacks. That is good news for Nate Hobbs, and it's good news for a lot of the corners that were already on the Raiders roster. So before I tell you who was the Raiders' biggest post-draft winner, let me know. So out of all the players on the Raiders roster, which guy do you think benefited the most from the 2022 NFL Draft? Coming in at number 1, it's Derek Carr, and it's not even close. You go ahead, you select Dylan Parham in round 3, number 90. He's going to be a starting offensive lineman on this team. Yes, you also went out and got Thayer Munford, who he's going to be able to add a little bit of depth. I get it. The Raiders don't have a first or a second round pick, but you know what, man? Not only did the Raiders improve their offensive line and their run game by going out and getting Zamir White, a good running game is also a quarterback's best friend. You heard Derek Carr talk about it at the end of last season, that a good running game can help out your quarterback. You also got Devontae Adams, so I'm going to consider the fact that you moved on from your first to your second round pick. You got the number 1 wide receiver in the National Football League for your quarterback. The biggest winner, it is Derek Carr, and it's not even close. Go ahead and spam DC4 down in the comments. So when you get winners, you got to go ahead and talk about the losers as well. Coming in here at number 5, it's Alex Leatherwood. And the reason why I'm going to throw out Leatherwood, you're going to see a few offensive linemen in this list. And it's because the Raiders drafted based on them not having a lot of confidence in the offensive linemen that were out there already. And for Leatherwood, I said it on Tuesday's live show, you don't have a guaranteed spot here for Alex. And if Parham can beat out Leatherwood, Parham's going to get the gig. If Andre James can beat out Parham, if Parham or Andre James can beat out Leatherwood, then he gets the upgrade. As far as I'm concerned, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle are all up for grabs. And if Parham's going to get that opportunity, what happens if Andre James becomes the starting right guard? What happens if Denzel Good gets kicked over? I just see that the Raiders organization has said multiple times that they're going to put the best guys out there. And for that reason and that reason alone, I have Alex Leatherwood being a loser. Now, I'll say Leatherwood, again, isn't a lock to start. And you're going to see a lot of those reasons pop up here for some of these Raiders offensive linemen, which that's just going to be part of how this whole thing ends up going down. It's going to be interesting, though, man. Let's go to number 4. The defensive tackles not named below Nichols and not named Jonathan Hankins. If you're going to go out and draft 2 defensive tackles, they're going to get some playing time. And if you were to ask me, okay, how do they end up lining up here for the Raiders defensive depth chart? This is what I see. Farrell Jr., clearly a bigger guy. He's going to be behind Jonathan Hankins. And then Matthew Butler, a little bit more skilled in the passing game. He goes behind Bilal Nichols. So, sorry, Vernon Butler. Sorry, Andrew Billings. Sorry, Kendall Vicker. Sorry, Kyle Petco. Yes, you went ahead and you signed Myron Tagovailoa-Amosa as a UDFA. But if your names aren't Jonathan Hankins or Bilal Nichols, you're not going to get as much playing time. And I'm sorry, that makes you a loser. Let's go to the next one coming in here. It's Andre James. But, Mitch, why is Andre James a loser? Because I don't think that he starts this season. I'm sorry. I went back. I watched the tape. Dylan Parham is a better center than Andre James. He is. On top of that, Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, they didn't give Andre James this contract extension. They don't owe him anything. And they're going to put the best offensive lineman out there. And let's just say, okay, you want to have a debate with me. You're like, oh, Parham's a guard. Parham's a better guard than Andre James. So if it comes down to Parham or Andre James getting on the offensive line playing time, it's going to go to the guy that the Raiders wanted in the 3rd round. It's going to go to the guy who's a better overall prospect. He's going to be a better fit than James. Not that I don't like Andre. Andre's a good player, and he's a backup player, and he got better as the season went on. But I am telling y'all right now, Dylan Parham is a better offensive lineman than Andre James. I still got 2 more losers to get to, but not only are we on Rumble, not only are we on YouTube, we are also over on Locals as well. So please join me. Exclusive videos. Scan this QR code. Y'all are probably getting sick and tired of me telling you, but I have to tell you why. It's my job. It turns the lights on, and I know a lot of people can't always support the show with Super Chats, but you can do things like this that really helps me out. And on top of that, when I get free time, I make you guys even more videos. So you can become a member for free, watch a lot of my live shows, or if you're a supporter, you get even more exclusive content. So if you're curious of what grades I gave every single, all 13 of the Raiders UDFAs, you can go ahead and see that. That's exclusive video over on Locals. But I go live at least once a week. And this week, because the NFL draft is so crazy, guess what I did? I went ahead and I made another live show. This one was on Monday. You can join Raiders Report on Locals at raidersreport.locals.com. Coming in here at number 2, it's John Simpson. And Thayer Munford is a better offensive lineman than John Simpson. Dylan Parham, better offensive lineman than John Simpson. Denzel Good, better offensive lineman than John Simpson. I'm going to tell you all this right now. there is a 0% chance that John Simpson is going to be a starter for the Raiders this upcoming season. I just don't know where I'm going to put him. If you were to ask me what my projected starting offensive line would be, it would end up being this. And it's Colton Miller, Denzel Good, Dylan Parham, Alex Leatherwood, and Brandon Parker. So I just see Good getting that time. They ended up bringing him back in terms of they could have cut him at 4.2. They decided not to. I still see them trying to give Alex Leatherwood a shot. Brandon Parker, they ended up re-signing him for a reason. Fingers crossed they still go out and get a guy like Darrell Williams or whatnot, but I'm sorry, John Simpson. You're going to be a backup. You started a lot of games last season, so no chance. There is a no just win baby's chance of him starting this season for the Raiders, unless a player ends up going down with an injury. So before I tell you guys who is the biggest loser, here's a cool opportunity. Let me know who was the Raiders' biggest post-draft loser. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section, because coming up right now here on the Raiders Report, I'm going to tell you the biggest loser. And the only reason why Josh Jacobs is the biggest loser is because not that he's not going to be playing this season. I still think Josh gets over 260 touches this year for the Raiders. It's when you're drafted in the first round, a lot of people want you to think that, okay, this guy's going to be on the team for a long time. The Raiders declined Jacobs' fifth-year option. Las Vegas drafted Zamir White and Brittain Brown, 2 running backs in this year's draft, and he's only got 1 year left on his rookie contract. So I believe that this is going to be Josh's final year with the Raiders. He's going to split a lot more work than probably what he's done in the past, and if he doesn't stay healthy, then Zamir White's talented enough to take his job, because Zamir ran a 4.4. Yes, Zamir has his own running back issues, but White's a hell of a running back, and I get it. When you're drafted in the 4th round, can you really be trusted? You go back and look at a lot of the 4th-round running backs that the Patriots have taken, they've been good. Hell, Josh's old teammate back at Alabama, Christian Harris, I believe is his name. Damian Harris, excuse me. He had 15 rushing touchdowns last season. So the Patriots find running backs that they can fit in their system. It's what they did, and I believe that's what Josh McDaniels did this season with Zamir White. So here are Raiders post-draft winners and losers. The guys in green are the winners. The guys in red are the losers. So if you made it this far in the video and you appreciate the content that we're doing, please go ahead and give us a like right now.